You good, Lisa?
Just
I'm streaming audio, so we're good to go when Annalise is.
okay, we're on.
Okay. We'll have the pledge of allegiance first. Commissioner Cox, are you?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Reviewing of the agenda, I didn't see any additions that we need to make. They haven't already been made, so I'd make a motion to set the agenda.
Second.
Okay. Motion to set the agenda for the day. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Kaia, first up.
Kaia Bowden, Rich County Recorder. We're here to reevaluate, I don't know if that's the right word, but go over again the amendment for the GIS Sunrise contract for 2026.
Okay. Is there any issues anywhere?
No, since we spoke last back in June, which we should have talked about this in July, but I will admit I dropped the ball on getting on the agenda, so I apologize for that. Jarom, everyone, sorry. No, I've seen a lot of improvements from what we've talked about back in the June commission meeting. My maps are up and running again, like I stated earlier. There's still a couple of things that we're working on that I don't quite have yet, but I know that Sunrise is working diligently. They've been really good to keep me up to date on what they're doing and give me what they need. So at this point in time, I personally feel more comfortable discussing this amendment.
Jarom and Andrew, can you hear us okay?
It's a little choppy. I'm getting bits and pieces.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you good. So,
Because I hear you great.
Andrew, can you hear us? Okay. All right. So what did you, are you comfortable with this amendment then?
Yes,
All right.
As we stand now, I feel more comfortable if we were to vote on moving forward with the amendment.
Okay.
I do know that Jarom in email had a couple of things he might like to bring up though, so if you'd like to give him some time to bring up his concerns.
Do you have any concerns, Jarom?
Not any concerns. The only thing, if we're gonna start implementing a little bit more GIS throughout different departments, the $10,000, because of the additional work that we need to do for the road center lines and getting those to a status of an easy deliverable for Kaia to the state, and we're trying to conflate from 4 or 5 different road center line databases at the same time, where it's very there's a lot that are, it's not standardized, I guess what I'm saying. And this is a very important thing for the county, just like the average point that we worked on for the last month or so ago. This is a very important.
How much more, Jarom? I mean, you say an increase in that. What do you see that we would need to increase it by to accomplish that task?
I would say we probably need to be between 15 and 20.
Okay.
Originally, when we first had this, contract signed a few years ago, I think, Kaia, we decided on like a $20,000 allowance pool at the time.
Yeah.
And it's probably, I mean, that's 4-ish years ago, so it's probably not a bad idea to try to get up to that, but understand we can still do a lot with between that 15 and $20,000 mark.
Okay, so, in the exhibit that I'm looking at, which was, from 23, on table 1, we show an allowance pool of 20,000. Have we?
Right.
And was that spread out over 3 years?
Yeah, it was, yep.
Okay, so, are you, okay, are you thinking?
But that also was only supporting Kaia's
Right,
department, right?
right, right,
And so we wanna start here, check in, you know, with I mean, obviously we'll be working with you a lot more than every 6 months. We'll be working with you on a monthly basis, but, just checking in on the budget, everyone's aware where the budget is and what we've been able to accomplish, yes, absolutely.
okay.
To clean up these roads, Kaia, I'm guessing we're probably gonna be in the realm of about $6,000 or $7,000 to do it, just because of the differences in the data sets that we're dealing with. But boy, it'll be sure nice when it's done for you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, all you gotta do is submit it to the state
Yeah.
on a yearly basis.
So, do we have an amendment for this year that has a number?
It does, yeah, go to the very beginning of amendment number 3. There's on the second paragraph in the bottom, it shows parties agree to authorize, and then there's a $10,000. That's the only concern I had, and I can change this, or you can cross it out and put an amount, and get it signed, and if that's something you guys are wanting to do, is increase that amount.
So you'd increase 10,000 to what, 17,000? Or is the 10,000 already included the 7,000 you were talking about?
No,
So we'd increase that.
so that's 10,000, that was over 3 years, I believe. And so, I think what we probably better do, the party agrees an additional GIS in the amount of, agrees to authorize an additional GIS services in the amount of $10,000. So I think we probably need to move that to at least 15,000, over 3 years, or maybe even 20,000. Let's go 20,000 on that over 3 years, and then we'll review, that each year to see where we're at. Does that sound okay, Jarom?
Yeah, I think that's great. You know, the original contract that we had, it just rolled over from year to year, and that's why we signed amendments with Kaia in the past. Just because it wasn't, a lot of the budget wasn't being completely utilized, right? So we're just like, okay, well, let's just continue and roll it over from year to year. And I anticipate that that's exactly what will happen.
Okay, so in rolling that over, let's do a review each year of where we're at and how much more we've got to accomplish, and if we're on track to get everything done and where we need to be. Is that acceptable?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
John, you got any,
No.
you're okay?
Yep.
With that, I would make a motion that we approve amendment number 3
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Let's see,
So we'll have to get the right,
yeah,
Yeah, so are you guys gonna sign this, or are we gonna get an updated one from Jarom?
What would you like? I can get you an updated one really quick and I can send it to you?
yeah, Jarom, let's do that, let's start out with this amendment with the right, put 20,000 in there, and, let's start out with the amendment with that, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
alright, I'll send it to, you want me to send it to Annalisa
yeah,
and Kaia?
yes, that'd be great,
Okay, I'll do that.
okay,
alrighty,
well, I'm glad you're up and running, Kaia.
thank you.
Anything else I can do for you?
No, we appreciate you
Okay.
getting right on this and getting her up and running, so I know it's been a real effort on you guys' part, but it's been very important for us too, so thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. I'm gonna hop off. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. That it?
That's all I had, I mean, unless you guys have any questions for me.
I don't think so, as long as you're okay with what we're doing and we've got you up and, or they've got you up and so it's at least working to a certain degree, so.
No, it's been a lot better, communication's been better, they've always been, send them an email, I need help, cool, let's get on a call right this very second, so.
Good.
Good.
The only thing, like he stated, was the road center lines, Zach at UGRC's been kinda hounding me on them, but they're still building them. So I've kinda been in communication, I mean, I can send him the old stuff if he wants it, but I'd rather send him the shiny new
If,
compiled list.
if he knows that we're making progress, I know he's may hounding you, but if he knows we're making progress, I think he'll be fine, so.
Well, I was able to send him my address points, which was
Good.
super helpful, cause Sunrise over the last couple of months it was the same thing where I had like 4 different sets of data,
Mhm.
and they went through and compiled them all into just one master set. So I was able to send that to UGRC, so
Oh, good.
he is seeing some progress, there we go. But, so,
Super,
we're up and running, we're doing all better now. Couple things we're still waiting on, but they showed me the work that they're doing, and it's not gonna be a tomorrow thing, which I'm understanding, so.
well, as long as we're making progress, that's the important part, I'm glad they're up and going.
So, that's all I've got.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks.
Okay, Andrew Barry, Bear Lake Senior Care Services, LLC.
That's him on.
Morning. So, tell us a little bit about what, you're applying for a business license, tell us a little bit about what you're gonna be doing, Andrew.
Well, any type of non-medical senior care support. So, taking to doctor's appointments, taking to the grocery store, taking to physical therapy appointments, companionship, dementia care. There's nobody currently doing it in Rich County, and if you want someone to come up from Logan or over from Evanston, they charge you quite a bit for the travel fee. And I worked in mental health and taking care of senior citizens for about a total of 20 years in Salt Lake for Valley Behavioral Health and Intermountain Health Care. And it's just my passion to do that, to help the disenfranchised. And in our nation, sad to say, senior citizens and veterans are 2 of the most disenfranchised groups. And so it's purely just an act of service to try and give back to the local community, and just provide a level of support that isn't currently there. So it could be anything non-medical. It could just be even companionship, going fishing, water their house plants, help them clean the house, anything non-medical that they need to remain independent as possible to end up in a nursing home or other care facility, just to improve their quality of life and support them and their families in their golden years.
Okay, so,
Sounds like a good idea.
I see also included that you, have applied for a rural county grant.
I did, and that was recently denied. I was told that I was not eligible in this type of business. But that's part of my plan, is to apply for any possible state or federal grants, so we can get some of those tax dollars back to help take care of our senior citizens. So as I get the ball rolling on this, I'm gonna be applying for any possible grant that I can get, just to help us take care of our seniors and veterans. There's about 20% of Rich County is senior citizens, and there's about 145 or 50 veterans living in the county. And, you know, as they age, they're gonna get, you know, health problems, and they're gonna need more and more support. And the whole idea is just to step in and help them and their families.
Okay, so you'll be, operating out of your home, is that where you're gonna operate to begin with, or?
Just initially, until I, you know, get the ball rolling. I'm currently working full-time, and so it's gonna be kind of a process. But eventually I'd like to get a small office, and even more importantly, down the road, once the business gets established, I'd like to do some pro bono work for people that can't really afford it. So it's not a get rich thing, it's a service thing.
So, do you have a fee schedule that, I mean, is it by the mile, by the hour, how does that work? How is that gonna work?
It's gonna be by the hour with no travel charges. I have a complete business plan put together that details that I can, email to you, or send it to you, or deliver it to you in person, whatever you prefer. It's gonna be undercutting the other companies by about $5 an hour that will come here and do it. The average rate is gonna be about $30 an hour, depending on the type of care, which is a little bit less, about $5 less an hour than people are currently charging to come into Rich County and do it. So we intend to provide a better value and a better service. Being local, we can have a faster response time and provide a more localized experience.
Yeah, I'd like to see that business plan, if you wouldn't mind emailing that to me.
Not at all. I was gonna try and share it in the meeting, but sharing is not turned on, so I can't send anything, but I will definitely email it to you right away.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Should I just email it to Annalisa? I have her email, and
Yeah,
she can.
yeah, just do that, and she could forward it to us, that would be fine.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay, hold
No questions.
on. Pardon me, go ahead.
I think, we understand the nature of your business, and as far as your business goes, I would make a motion that we grant, Bear Lake Senior Care and Services LLC a business license to operate in Rich County.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed by the same sign? Motion carries.
Okay.
Unanimous.
Great. Alright,
Hey, gentlemen,
thank you.
Thank you.
you're very welcome. I appreciate your service to the county and all that you do.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Brian Gardner, restaurant owner, business license approval, liquor license approval.
I'm not really Brian,
This is
but
Come on up.
I'm the better
sir.
version of Brian. Just teasing.
Thank you.
Are you there?
Oh, is that Brian?
Brian, are you on?
Yes, I am. There we go.
There he is. There we are. Okay, great. So you're applying for a business license, for a restaurant and bar? Is that what we're seeing?
Correct. It'd be the 2520 Bear Lake Boulevard. The, alcohol, referenced all the alcohol permits, there's nothing I can find that would be anything, there's no schools, churches, subdivisions, anything like that close enough to. The only thing is we would have to extend the turning lane to make a better turning lane. There is a half a turning lane there where it goes right, which would be going to the trailer park. But we'd have to extend that turning lane. That's the only infrastructure changes we'd be doing, except there's 35 more feet back we'd be going roughly, so we have roughly a little over 100 parking spaces.
That's what I was wondering. So, on that turning lane, you'll have to get a permit from UDOT. Have you explored that with UDOT?
Correct.
Then?
Correct, yes, and there's room there, and there's already a turning lane there.
Right, yeah.
But we're just a little bit short of having a full turning lane, so we'd have to bring it back, like, you know, they have to come out and spec it all and all that stuff.
So you'd be turning in, well, that would be,
It'd be where we turn in now would be abandoned, that would all be the back part of the
oh, okay.
restaurants. Everything would be off the south end of it, the very south end.
Okay, got it.
Basically, when you turn in at all, it's pretty close to being across from the Epic
Right.
turn in there,
Yeah.
so it's almost straight. So it's a better vision, left and right.
What's your timeline on this, Brian? How soon are you gonna try and be up and
I
going?
would like to see a soft opening by May 1st. Full open June 1st.
Wow.
So do you want to have the business license be for the remainder of this year, or just to start in January?
Can you say that again? I broke up a little bit.
Do you want the business license for this year, or just to start at the beginning of January?
Beginning of January would be great.
Okay. And then the liquor license, are you guys waiting on that, or do you wanna get that approved now? Cause we just don't have an application. I don't know.
Yep.
I think Camille sent one to you, but anyway, I don't know if you guys wanna handle that now or later on. Cause again, they're annual fees.
Yeah, the way I understood it is we had to come in front of you first, and then we will start that process with your blessings, of course. Then we can start that process, which will probably be January 1st would be great for that also.
Okay.
If I'm understanding you right.
This is making me hungry.
I know.
I like the menu. You're making me hungry here reading the menu.
Thank you. Want something a little different, man. It'll be a year-round restaurant. This will not be just here for the 3-month rush, and we leave everybody abandoned after the 3 months. It's a full year-round
Nice.
restaurant, which I believe we really need, and I believe I'd really like to bring some of that liquor taxes back to Rich County, not Idaho.
So, will this be a state liquor store, Brian, or just be able
No.
to serve, just serving alcohol?
Yeah, just restaurant bar.
Restaurant,
on,
okay.
on site, I believe they call it.
Yeah, on site, yeah, gotcha,
Nice. I like the year round too, for sure.
Yes, year round.
So do we need two different motions, one to approve the business license and one to approve the liquor license?
Probably so.
I'd make a motion that we approve, the business license for Blue Bayou LLC.
Okay, second.
Okay, moving second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and they don't have a liquor license application, but I guess we could still make a motion that if they fill one out, that we'll approve that liquor license application. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, moving second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, Sherry.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Awesome, great.
Do you want these back?
Hope to see you there.
Thanks.
We will be.
Sheree, are you the bartender or?
Maybe. No, I think I wanna be more in the like event planner side of it. Like,
There you go.
yeah, he's gonna do some awesome, like this back part to do weddings and concerts and stuff more, yeah.
Good.
That's my happy.
Well, those pictures are beautiful, so.
He did good.
Is it
That-
just two? Cause I'll take these two and then you guys can save these. So three?
Whatever you want, you can. I have more, so if you want to.
Yeah, I'll keep the record, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, if it turns out like those, it'll be a beautiful place.
It'll be amazing. Yep, thank you.
Thanks.
Great, thanks for coming in.
Okay. Kim,
Whoops.
we started behind, so we're.
Kim Wilson, Rich County Ambulance Secretary. So ambulance rates went up again. The state came out with something this year. So we could, what we are charging, we're at $1,200 a call out and 35 cents a mile. Or $35 a mile. And then, we can charge $42.24 a mile and $1,659.66 for a call out. We have not raised them since 2023, when they were last raised. But we can't charge more than what the state allows, but we can charge up to it. I know, and I've talked to JCI in the past, most of the companies they bill for are charging the max. Like I said, we haven't raised them in quite a while. We're kind of torn a little bit because we know costs have gone up for you guys, and you guys have been so good to fund our budget, with everything that we need. But we know that costs have gone up. The heartburn we have about it is, if we transport to Logan, to Evanston, Ogden, wherever we transport to, it's long, we're going
Putting
40
lots of
miles at least. Which is hard on people. I mean, I know they say, oh, if they have insurance, it's not a big deal, but not everybody has insurance. And that's just a lot to charge, but, maybe somewhere in the middle.
So what is,
We know that you guys usually ask us for our recommendation, we're like, oh, leave it the same, but we understand that times are a little different than they have been in the past, and we haven't raised. And the other concern that I have is the gap is getting further, what we can charge up to, and if we ever had to go to that amount, because of,
go all at once.
that's a big chunk. So,
What's her call out?
right now, what we charge right now is $1,200. And we can charge, $1,659.66. So we're at like $459.66, or for what we could charge.
So,
The presidency just, what do they say?
They're like the same thing, we're just torn because of the costs have gone up for supplies, everything we order now everything's gone up. IO needles, just one needle itself they're high. And so, fuel costs are up and we're diesel, so supposed to in the winter. So,
So if we raised it $5 to $40, that would be another $250 to Logan, for example.
Yeah.
Garden City.
yeah,
And you went to $1,350 on a call out. We're running about how many call outs a year?
probably close to like 130.
I was gonna say, I think the last time we discussed that was right around between 120 and 130.
Yeah,
And if you charge for non-transporting, there'd be 1,000 of them.
yeah, and we don't charge for non-transports. We can't charge, because there was a company that was self-dispatching, they were listening to a scanner and self-dispatching, they're trying to charge call-out fee. So if we don't transport, we cannot,
Yeah.
we can't, and
But
we do have a lot of those.
I'm good with that, but I just mentioned that you guys go out 1,000,000 times on those type.
Yeah, well, and you guys have your fair share. So, like I said, we do
That's
that,
probably
we don't
it.
bill a thing for.
So if we raised it, if we did 150, raised it, to 1,350, and we did 130 call outs, that's 19,000, that would increase, per year.
1,900. Right. Or what did you say? I thought you said 19,000.
150
So
per
$5
round.
times 130. Let's see, yeah,
Sorry, yeah,
You're
I
right.
got y'all messed up, yeah.
so you had 130 call outs times an extra,
$5 per month.
100, excuse me, extra, 100, an extra
150.
150, and that's 19,000.
Okay, and for all of them, I was thinking
Yeah,
per call out,
no,
or per
no,
thing, I was like,
yeah, no,
okay,
that-
sorry,
Just
I,
150 increase per
Yeah.
call out.
yeah,
What did you say we're getting per mile?
35 right now.
35.
So you're wanting to raise it up to 40?
Well, if we went to 40, and I don't know, all I'm saying is that would be, what did I say, extra
200.
250 to go to Logan, I believe it was.
Yeah. No,
I
it
think-
still wouldn't be that much, cause it's not,
I think that's very
we're around
reasonable.
35, I think.
You-
Or else we're around 40.
You guys know more than I do. I like that we're not maxing it out, cause we don't need to, but I think you're smart that we shouldn't let
Be
the
at the
gap,
bottom.
yeah, to where it hurts a lot later on.
And we'll probably be at the bottom anyway still, even increasing.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
We're still gonna, we're not gouging people by any means, it's just trying to provide the service
And
and,
then they,
and provide the medical.
out here, they
supplies.
have to pay more per mile, or not, more miles.
There's more miles, yeah, we're not 5 minutes from the hospital,
and our ambulances have gone up, around 50,000 per rig, so.
absolutely.
You know, I mean.
Yeah.
Over a period of time, and we've got to, and we're, you know, we're in a rotation of, you know, we've gotta be able to afford those and along with the equipment along with it, so. I know we're subsidizing
A lot.
out of general fund with what we're collecting, that's why.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, in the sensitivity of the fact that we have to go long distances and everything else, but the service is there, you know, that call out is, you know, regardless, you know, pulls everybody away from their jobs and, we're not maxed out by any means, and so I would be very comfortable with raising $5 a mile and raising 150 on a call out, just my opinion.
Okay, me too.
So is that a motion and a second?
We got a motion on that, Bill?
I do, yes.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, move and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We also, as the ambulance association, we sure appreciate your support with, everything that we do with our equipment, with our ambulances, with rotating around and everything like that. We've got quite a few new EMTs that have just come online from the couple of classes that we've had, and I think they seem to be working out pretty good, so hopefully we can keep
Seems
them.
good. And it seems like we got more out of these classes than we've ever had
Yeah,
out of class before.
we have, so, alright,
Speaking of which, rotating, when is Garden City's rig to be?
cause you just got the new one, right?
Yeah, it should be this year though.
Yeah, but I think we were, but
The
they,
wreck got us messed up.
yeah, and so instead of doing two in the same year, I think we were gonna do one next year, possibly somewhere in there.
Okay.
Just because to try to do two in 1 year is pretty burdensome
Mhm.
on.
Well,
you
and
guys'
then
commission and all that.
they come due the same time again, so.
Yes, and so if we staggered it out another year, I think that would be helpful. I know I'm not for sure on that, but that's what I would guess is trying, so we're not buying two in 1 year. Because that was a problem, but it was also not anybody else's fault.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So are we gonna be buying one this year then?
Not in
Next year.
2026, in 2027, my understanding.
So we should kinda get it online and get ready to get one ordered from, it takes a year to get them.
Yeah, it takes a while.
So we'll have to get a hold of that guy.
Okay, so do you want me to have Carrie do that? You want me to have you do that?
Whatever you want.
Cause doesn't he usually kinda spearhead that? I'll talk to him and
I
see.
did the last one.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
Maybe you'd rather
To
have
that
him.
guy.
Do you want a copy of those?
I can get a hold of him.
Okay. Alright, like I said, we'll take whatever you wanna provide, but we were just trying not to be too cumbersome financially on you in 1 year, cause they're so expensive, and that's.
Well, even if we tried right now, it'd be next year before we
Oh,
did
yeah.
it anyway, so.
Well, and like I said, they come, and then you have to put all the equipment inside, which we would have the equipment out of.
Well,
but
I bet you we're a year out in getting an ambulance,
That's what I said.
That's what he was just saying.
Yeah.
at least,
At
you know,
least.
I mean, this last one, it was even longer than that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you wanna
We'll get
spearhead
started.
that,
I'll get
then
started on it.
that would be great.
I've already started on it. You know, I've told him that we wanted one that next year and da-da-da, but I never hear anything back from him.
Okay, well, I will,
But I'll
you
get,
probably have to just keep pushing
I'll
him.
have to call him again.
Okay, I will just put that on my notes that we're looking for a new ambulance for Garden City for 2027. And theirs is due, and their mileage is getting up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they still run good, but that's what's hard, is you gotta keep them in good working condition.
Yep.
And they cost a lot, but when you go to resell them, you don't get a whole lot out of them, so.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
All right,
I'm
thank
coming
you.
back in under the BOE session, with a couple of other items, so,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I just wanna reiterate, I appreciate the sheriff and the county attorney and everything on their support for our Firefly bikes. I was so glad that it turned out the way it did yesterday. And when I texted, or emailed Ben and told him that, it went well, he said, woo. Woo, that's what his comment was, and then he said
You
something
never
about
know.
glad it turned out so well.
You never know.
You just don't, and I think having the sheriff there with his badge and his title and his gun made a big difference too.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And he was very supportive, and I sure appreciate
Good.
what they do, because it may not have gone as good just me showing up.
Probably wouldn't have.
No, so I appreciated his presence and his ability to help, so.
Okay,
Thank you, gentlemen.
thanks for
Appreciate
doing it.
Yeah. Well, at least we're up through 25 on him, so
Yeah.
we'll start the process now for 26, but hopefully he will just get a handle,
Yeah,
so.
all right.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Want me to just leave this open?
Yeah, you can leave it open.
Nobody here? So, all right, thank you so much.
Well,
I said we're going into executive
oh,
session.
yeah. So I guess we should've shut it.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'll catch the actions and get a new recording going.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put this
So,
up.
We'll have to make a motion.
I'm going to be going into executive session. for litigation purposes.
Okay. I second that.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Let me look real quick. Was resuming around 12 p.m.
let's decide, do you wanna just have him come in? Or do you wanna?
Good.
Okay, Mike, back on the record.
Yeah, you're back on the record.
So we talked, our attorneys advised us that we can't just have a dad come in and have an executive session.
Okay.
You can publicly explain to us your frustrations and the things you have going on, what you were gonna do, and then we'll take action or not, or whatever we have to do.
So now what you say, explain what you're trying to tell me here. I can't do what I want to, but I talk publicly, so what can I do?
So executive session, would just, there are certain reasons that we can do it, and one of them, we can't have a member of public come in to complain during an executive session. We could only do it after the complaints to take action that would be private. So you can do exactly what you wanna do, it just has to be in a public meeting, right? You know, so right now we're public.
It's being brought.
And I just don't know if that affects anything you're gonna say. We're just giving you a heads up. You can do anything you wanna do during this time, but it's on the record instead of during an executive session, just because legally we can't do that.
So then let me ask you this question. Should I choose to bypass you guys, which is the reason I was gonna do this, my alternative is go to the Utah Labor Board Anti-Discrimination, file charges, which bypasses you, but then that's very serious. I mean, that brings in a bad deal. But that basically is what you're telling me. If I don't wanna, and I don't know how to apply this, but I can bypass you and do that. If that's the steps necessary for me to take. And I wanna tell you, I've been down that road before, already having one occasion of dealing with them, and so that is not a good thing. Not for the county, not for you, not for anybody involved in this situation. But that basically is what you're telling me. If I don't do what I'm trying to do, and I don't know what you're telling me, how I'm gonna approach you as commissioners.
Yeah.
Without bypassing you.
No, you can talk to us. It can't be in an executive session. You can do exactly.
So I can tell you, okay, basically what this is we have a problem between our clerk and my daughter. And there's been things that's happened that's been very serious. And that needs to be addressed. And that involves, I'm gonna tell you right up front what it's gonna involve. It's gonna involve discrimination. It's gonna involve creating a hostile work environment. It's gonna include harassment. It's going to include, dereliction of duty. I mean, they're serious charges, and I want you to know, I've already addressed in a letter to the Lieutenant Governor herself, explaining my position in this case. And so, I want you to know that she's aware of it, and her, I'm sure her office is aware of this. And so, that's where I'm at right now. And so, I entertain your ideas in this matter. I know Commissioner Cox, you've been a little bit involved in this, and first of all, I want to thank you, commissioners, for taking care of some of the situations. I appreciate that, but that's where I'm at. And so, with that in mind, since I'm representing my daughter, she's asked me, and like I say, that if you want me to bypass, and I'm not quite sure how that would happen, that would be my next step, was go to the Utah Labor Board Anti-Discrimination Department, which will bring in an investigation involving everybody. I mean, like I say, I went through this once before, and they're very, very thorough. Took about three months. And so, I'm open for your input, for your suggestions, but that's the road I'm looking at.
Our attorney's on the line there. What do you think, Ben? What advice do you have for us?
Well, I think it'd be helpful if you would maybe put your issues in writing and maybe submit them so that we can review them. Would you be willing to do that?
Now, let's give you a little more detail on it, what you're asking me to do.
What I'm asking is if you would be willing to maybe give something in writing with some specifics.
I got that in writing. I got specifics.
I haven't seen anything, but have you provided that to the commissioners?
I haven't presented that to commissioners, but that again, this is, to me, there's a great length of confidentiality, and I mean, this is involving a very serious thing. And so, if you want me to write down and give them a detailed, I mean, I got, the accusations are on the paper here for them, they can look at that. It's gonna involve the disciplinary letter my daughter was given, and her rebuttal to that, and I have that written down, and, I guess if you wanna talk to your commissioners and tell them exactly where else they need, then I'll look at that and consider my next step.
Whatever you submit to us, we would submit to him to review, Wayne. So, if you've got it written down, my suggestion is you give us a detail of what your complaint is.
That is, that right there. Do you wanna, what about you, Commissioner Lee, would you like a copy of this?
Yes.
What about you, clerk?
So,
I think she needs a copy.
so, on these, do you have details of the following?
Of how it was handled?
Well, of what, yeah, how it was handled, yeah, I guess.
Well, I can give you a brief outline, yes, I can tell you, I can give you dates,
Okay, and you've got that written down. Okay, we would like.
now I haven't typed that up, I just written that because I didn't know that I needed to present that in that.
So what we'd like you to do then is type it up, Wayne, and we will submit it to our attorney to go with, you know, what you've presented with us here of the dates and the times and the actions or whatever it may be, and have him review it, and then we will him and see what he feels like how we need to proceed about that.
Okay, so I got down here, cause I didn't know exactly, now I didn't know this was gonna be a floppy turvy here, okay? For instance, like on the discrimination, I get how that all came about, the parties involved, the date, is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly what I want.
same way with the breach of confidentiality, how that came about. I don't know how detailed you want me to go into that.
Probably as detailed as you can, and the employee needs to submit it. Our relationship's with her.
Now, Commissioner Lee, let me just tell you this, I feel a little bit, and I'm kinda a little bit hesitant, because there could be, and our attorney could say there's a breach of confidentiality here on my part, or on my daughter's part. I don't wanna get into that, because I'm sure she has emails, texts concerning these very things. What's went on?
Yeah. Well, she'll have to get into it once this is all submitted. If it's serious, it's.
Now you're asking me to do exactly what I'm bringing against our clerk, is there's a confidentiality thing here between her, what she did to my daughter.
Yeah.
Which is related to me, but that's a fine line. And since I'm dealing with an attorney and haven't dealt with him before, I do not want to put myself in a position where I could be on the outside looking in.
Yeah. Well, so first off, we hear you, this is very serious, that you're concerned enough to come, advocate for your daughter. Like that is, we get that this is something that is serious to you guys. But as we work through this, our relationship is with her. She's gonna have to submit everything she has as well. So it is gonna open up a lot of stuff, and she's gonna have to interface with what's going on, because ultimately that's the relationship we have is the county with her, which is fine.
Okay, then what I would suggest to you as commissioners, and I would suggest you go to my daughter, get the emails, the texts, everything pertaining to what's happened to her, so she can bring them to you, okay?
Yeah.
Then you and I have a discussion in relationship to those emails, texts, the events happening because of them.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to know here that a lot of that's gonna pertain, and I don't know why it happened, but it did happen. I'll use your own policy to vindicate some of this thing. But a lot of that happened because of, and I don't know how many of you are aware of that letter of discipline given to my daughter. Have you got that, Commissioner Cox?
No, it goes into her file. That's not something that we're privy to, other than.
Okay, but it's gonna involve you, so now I'm gonna ask you, cause it's gonna be involved, do you wanna have before you a copy of this? See, that's gonna involve this too. A lot of the allegations are gonna be the aftermath of what took place on this letter of discrimination or discipline. And this was involved the Attorney Governor's office and our clerk and my daughter. Them the three people that was present when this was happening.
Yeah.
So if you would like a copy of this,
So.
I'd be more than willing to share it with you.
Just 1 second.
So Ben.
Yeah.
So there was a letter put in her file of discipline. That would be a part of her personnel file. He's offering us that letter. Is that a breach of confidentiality?
He's offering us a letter that we already have a copy of.
That's in her file, yes.
Yeah, we don't need a copy of that letter.
Okay.
What we want from him, if he's willing to give it, he can get the advice of his own attorney, is to put his concerns in writing and submit it to us. And then I'll be happy to evaluate it, and the commission can look at it. but I think everything's better in writing.
Okay.
Okay, Attorney, what about her rebuttal to the, letter? Do they need that?
All we need from you is if you would like to submit your concerns in writing, that would give us a chance to thoughtfully consider them. It's a better format when it's written.
So her rebuttal went to the clerk?
We have a grieving process in our personnel manual for stuff like this. Do you know, I guess?
Now let me involve, I've ingested your policy and your grievance
Yeah.
process. I know exactly what you're talking about. But let me say, the reason I'm saying I opted to approach you or go to the labor department was because two of you are personally involved.
Okay.
Okay? Which means that if the chairman and you, Weston and Lee, should you choose to step away because you're personally involved, that means Commissioner Cox has got to choose two people, unbiased, to fill his board. Now, my question was this, nothing against Commissioner Cox, but could you get two unbiased people in Rich County to sit on a grievance board to make a unbiased opinion? And since you've been on the board 100 years, Commissioner Cox.
Not quite.
Pretty close. I would question, and I know you've been there long enough, and would you be 100% unbiased? I would hope. But I'm saying that's putting you in a precarious position.
Yeah.
Therefore, my option was to do this versus going through the process, the grievance process, and involve the Utah Labor Board. Now, I will tell you one thing. Understand that I've investigated this pretty thoroughly. As far as your grievance process, and Commissioner Cox, you signed on this, you put a limit of 30 days.
Yeah.
That's invalid. The Utah Labor Board allows 180 days. The EEOC, centered out in Phoenix, Arizona, which covers the state of Utah, allows up to 300 days. So, with the allegations I'm bringing, I had 180 days, or 300 days, depending on which department I choose to go through, to handle this situation. So, with that in mind, that's the reason I chose to veer away, you might say, kind of step away from the grievance process. Because it's putting two of you definitely in a precarious situation, and you, Commissioner Cox, standing out there by yourself.
He's outstanding in his field.
But that's the reason, so that was my options. That's the reason I foregone the grievance process, okay? And so, that's where I'm at. This is my position right now. If by chance, and I still understand fully, if I'm not satisfied or representative, she's not satisfied, I still have the option of going through either the EEOC or the labor board. I mean, that's a given option. And we got some time left here. It's been, since this happened, it's going on 3rd month, so I got 3 months if I need to do that. But I understand that. But that's the reasoning behind why I chose to kind of approach you as commissioner and not blindside you, jump right into that. Again, what the attorney is asking me to do, it becomes public, and once it becomes public, and you'd have to sit down and talk with him, my understanding, once it becomes public, then as far as the general public being involved can come into this. Once it's a public meeting, in other words, once it's a public meeting, which what you're telling me I need to do, then I've kind of opened this up to a broader version.
We're not saying that we want you to do the detail of what happened, that's not gonna be made public. That'll be submitted to us and it will go into her file as a confidential document. And then he'll review those and go through our policies and, you know, decide, you know, what course of action, needs to be looked at. And also, you know, like her letter of rebuttal, you know, that can be reviewed, but that's not gonna be a public document that will be handed out to the public by any means.
Okay. That's good, then.
Because it's a personnel matter, and personnel matters, you know, that's why we have executive sessions, is to discuss personnel matters and this is, well, you know, once you submit that, then we have a personnel matter in front of us that we can adjourn into an executive session and have some discussion with our attorney and go over the details that you provide and Camille has provided and the clerk has provided, and then we can make a decision as to how we want to move forward. Will that work for you?
Okay, that's fair enough, I can do that, but now let me just, interject something right here, so that you understand my position. There's gonna be an interim period, because it's gonna take me a little bit of time to sit down and get every detail set up and then get them back to you. This is not gonna, I mean. Understand?
Yeah.
But understand that if there's any retaliation or harassment or demeaning gestures during this interim period made by our clerk against my daughter, I won't deal with the commissioners anymore. It'll be an automatic dealing with the Utah Labor Board anti-discrimination and let the chips fall where they may.
Okay.
And believe me, I've dealt with them before, and and that's not nice. I dealt with them before with a company over wages, and I guarantee you, it was not nice. Wow. Cost that employer thousands and thousands of dollars. And so I know what that involves. And so I want that to be very well understood. So if our clerk chooses to do that, then you commissioners need to know my position. This is no longer dealing with you. You'll be dealing with the Utah Labor Anti-Discrimination Department. Understood? I want y'all understand that.
Yeah, yep. And I think it's, we take what you say very seriously. And so, but investigation does have to happen. And so, I think it's also important to mention that there is a lot of information we still need to get, because right now it's being presented as one-sided. It's not to say that we won't find out that it is.
No, and that's why I'm encouraging.
But,
that's why I told you, John, you need to go in, get you want to get the emails, the text, and so you need to deal with my daughter.
Yeah.
And have them presented, and I'm sure they're there.
Yeah.
You need to get
I just want to say that while we're
the
public.
resulting events would happen.
Yeah, okay.
And they can be vindicated, okay? So you need to go in and say, okay, I want text, emails, the events that happened, and.
I think it's reasonable.
Okay? So you need to involve her, and I will take, and, do you want me involved in presenting this, or you want her to write it up? It's whatever, however you commissioners feel.
As an employee, she ought to be the one write it up. You help her, and support her, but as an employee, the accusations of, I shouldn't say accusations, the timeline of events, she ought to write it up, or help her. Well,
I was sister in doing that. I have no problem with that.
And I have confidence in our clerk that until something's determined, things will be fine in the office.
And that'd be fine. And she can, emails, text, events, leading up to this. And like I say, I can have her do that, but, like I say, this is a very touchy situation. And you know, there's an old saying which I read the other day that says, people don't quit jobs, people quit managers. And so I want you to understand my position. And I think it's, you commissioners understand where I'm coming from. Okay?
We do. Get with your
Okay,
daughter and have.
is there any other questions from me?
Not at the moment.
What about you, Commissioner Weston?
Oh,
Commissioner Lee?
No, I think we're just eager to not have issues like this, so we'll figure it out.
What about you, Clerk? Fair enough. Then we'll proceed, and
Okay.
I hope it works out. It'll be, I am to tell you this, if it can be worked out, it'll be better for everybody involved if we bypass the labor board.
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Thanks.
time. I
Thanks, Mike.
appreciate, like I say, Commissioner Cox, for your help on the road up there and for the sign out there, appreciate it.
Hey.
Okay, thank you.
Hey. Woodruff Creek Watershed.
Okay.
Do we need to grab them? Them guys.
OC and them, are they out there?
Oh, I don't know. I guess.
Tyler's. I see Tyler. They gotta come to us as a canal company and say, we all agree on it and do it.
Okay, whatever you guys say.
That's not our job.
Hey, Ben?
I'm here.
Hey, so this irrigation, contract, did the Woodruff Irrigating Company ever sign it, or were they waiting for us to sign first?
They're waiting for us to sign.
Okay.
Did you ever get a copy of the whole deal that they had?
You're talking about the, agreement with the Woodruff Creek Watershed Plan?
Yeah, and NRCS and all. Have you ever seen that book?
Yes, I emailed, clean copies of those drafts, all the documents that you'll need, to Annalisa and to the commissioners.
Okay.
Clean copies of the contract or the
The
entire
only-
book?
The only change on those documents from the last time you've seen them is that the NRCS contacted me and they wanted to change the term from 102 years down to 52.
So that has been changed?
Yeah, in the documents that I emailed to Annalisa, did you have those there with you, Annalisa?
I do. I've got the resolution and the,
Yeah, so that draft has the most, up-to-date information, and, the commission wants to go forward today. There's the agreement, there's a resolution, and then there's an MOU with the irrigation company.
Okay.
Okay, based on our previous public hearings, and discussion with the engineers and the Woodruff Irrigation Company, I would make a motion that we adopt resolution 26-4, which basically says that, the Woodruff Irrigation Company and the Natural Resource Conservation Service are forming an agreement for the improvement of the Woodruff Watershed, and Rich County Board of Commissioners authorizes this as a, and finds it would be in the best interest of the communities for Rich County. So this authorizes us to support them and move forward as their sponsor.
Okay.
So let's do the resolution and then we'll do the memorandum of understanding.
Did you make a was
I
that a
did.
motion?
That's a
Okay.
motion.
I agree, and I'll second that motion.
Okay, got a motion, a second. Any other discussion? My discussion is, I would like to know if this has been voted on in the canal company meeting and everyone agreed.
The board of directors had a meeting, we met Monday again, and reinforced that we wanted to continue with this project.
Okay. Is this
We
something?
hadn't had any contact with any shareholders, requested special meeting, or any contact whatsoever, so. Good to go.
So this is something that the board of directors can do about the whole canal company voting legally.
We have an annual meeting, our last one was the first Monday in March, I don't know the date.
March 2nd.
We have an annual meeting, and, I mean, we've been discussing this for 5 years, and we've had, public, comments. You know, the NRCS is very careful to make sure everybody's involved.
Right.
And all the shareholders, I mean, we've gone through all the steps over the last 5 years. But I'd like to know that the board voted unanimously, all, there's 7 members on the board, all 7 members voted unanimously
To move
to
forward.
move forward with this.
Okay, that's good to know.
And because of the cost of the company at this point is nothing, when it gets to the point where construction happens and we know an estimated construction cost, then it will go to a vote, right? Isn't that? what
Then it
I'm
will come
saying?
back to the shareholders to have their final say whether they wanna move forward with the project or not, so.
Okay. So this still doesn't push it through.
No,
No.
You
no,
still-
this allows
okay.
this allows the
Design.
planning part of it to go through so that we can have an idea of what it's gonna cost.
Okay. And you've had a general share vote on it anyway.
Yes.
And it's probably
Share vote.
passed, right?
Our annual meeting, we've
It
had other
passed.
meetings, let's see, with NRCS, JV Engineering. But yeah, we had a vote in our shareholder meeting to go forward with this project.
Okay. And when you do get the price and you do have all the shareholders vote on it, I would suggest you vote shares, right, not just
Yes.
votes?
Yes.
Okay.
Individual shares, there's 5,946 shares in the company.
Okay.
They will either be represented by in person or by proxy. We have a lot of people that don't live in this area and they get a proxy, so we have a fairly high percentage of them on there.
Okay.
Plus, we have a board meeting during the summer every week.
Every Monday.
So, I mean,
Take over the
nobody
store.
meets more than we meet.
That's true.
And we welcome people to come, I mean, it's, they don't hide out.
You love meetings, huh?
They have,
No,
Darren has them in his store every Monday morning. He loses more money in that hour than.
You don't buy a thing.
That's what I'm saying. They probably steal more than they buy.
we turn customers away, they come to the door and see us
See all
and
you
they leave.
leave. Paying customers.
It looks like it's a happening place on a Monday morning, and then you go in there and it's a little bit different.
Okay.
All right. And then we have a memorandum of understanding, and this is what we was
We didn't
kind of
vote.
waiting on.
Okay.
It makes it very clear. It says Rich County is operating as a co-sponsor only. The Woodruff Irrigation Company will be ultimately responsible for payment of any costs associated with the agreement and the underlying project. The Woodruff Irrigation Company will be responsible to obtain any necessary easements and be responsible for all maintenance and operation costs. And this is a memorandum of understanding between the irrigation company and Rich County, and I'd make a motion.
Okay, before you make that motion, let's vote on the previous motion on the table.
I thought you did.
We didn't. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Sorry.
That's good.
We discussed.
Well, I had a couple of questions.
I know, now I remember what you said. Alright, so I'd make a motion that we, adopt this memorandum of understanding between the irrigation company and Rich County.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Alright, and then we have one last document that we need to pass, which is our, trying to get the right terms here. To adopt the Woodruff Watershed Plan and Environmental Assessment Work Plan Agreement between Rich County and the Woodruff Irrigation Company and the Natural Resources Conservation Service. So I'd make a motion that we,
Which essentially puts us just a go-through.
and so I would make a motion that we sign this agreement between Woodruff Irrigation Company, Natural Resources, and Rich County.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. That should move that forward. On this memorandum of understanding, you, the irrigation company, needs to sign that, so we can sign it, and then if you guys wanna take formal action in your next board meeting, whenever that is, and sign it, or authorize the president to sign it, so you have a copy in your file, we'll have a copy in our file.
Yeah, Elsie's supposed to be here. Here he is, speak to the dead. You guys all friends.
Do they need to have a vote before he can sign it?
Just in time. Yeah. Yeah, you got somebody already. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking back of you, which was this, to, do some work on the outlets and do the diversion structures.
He's gone.
Dan, are you away?
Did you hang up on us?
You probably did, okay.
So you want OC to sign right now?
You could.
So OC approved both the MOU and they voted to sponsor and do member notes, so.
Okay. So, yeah, we've already approved in the board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
It's been a long time coming.
We'll be back.
Well, I like the fact that you still got one more hurdle when you know the exact plan and amount and all that.
That's the way this is, it's in three parts. They did a Plan EA is what it's called, which is environmental, is even feasible environmentally, and a 30% design. Now this just goes into design, and there's no money even exchanged on this level until construction, it's even approved. And we'll know costs at the end of design, until you decide if we wanna move into construction.
Yeah, I'd like to too. I'm glad you got that MOU, because I think that clarifies to the taxpayers of Rich County the agreement.
Yeah, that might need to be, I'm glad we're gonna have a copy of that, we
Yeah.
can share that too.
There's still some angst, that means that there's some angst. Appreciate it. It's anything yet, I'm not planning to,
And we're just a go through.
yeah,
Yeah.
we appreciate your efforts on that, so thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Shawn won't be here, so
Okay.
you and me, I want to.
Okay.
Sorry, Nikki. No, that's all good. I read it on the agenda, I just didn't think that far ahead.
Chairman.
Yeah, break for lunch,
Okay.
resume at what time on here?
1:15.
Rich County Commission meeting back to order. First up on the agenda is Shawn, Milne, Bear River Association Governments, and Nikki Weston.
Shawn begs your apology, or apologizes because he is at the Utah Lawn Summit meeting and sent me in his place. I am Nikki Weston. I am the chair of the Economic Development Board. Your board is meeting regularly. They're great people to work with. They are actively engaged. They come forth with ideas. They make recommendations and they do their homework. So they are very nice to work with. We met this week, this month, and we have a plan for next year. We have submitted a report that is due the 1st of August. It has been accepted but not approved. The other counties are in the same boat. It's been accepted but not approved. When those are approved, they will open the application for next year. What you have in front of you is a proposal of how we'd like to spend our money next year. It's pretty similar to this year. As you can see, we've got $150,000 in the small business grants, which is looking pretty well. This year we changed the application. We're getting good response back. They have until 1st of November to have that money spent. I don't have percentages for you today. We'd like to propose that we put $35,000 toward Main Street revitalization on the south end of the valley. There's a fair amount of money going into Garden City this year. If we switch it around every year, and we think that is more fair. We have Nick Polson with the Bear Lake Region Commission, who actually runs the grant and deals with the grant applicants. He gets $10,000 and another $5,000 goes to Bragg to help cover their expenses. They help us out quite a bit.
Nikki, you said there's quite a bit of money going into Garden City. Is that just the businesses?
So we actually applied for that secondary grant and got the $125,000 going into Garden City. We set aside some of this money this year to match that. So the following years we'll look at Lake Town or whatever, just so it rotates through to keep it fair.
What'd that money go to?
So we're still working on that. We were working with Mayor Mike and had not heard back from him when he got ill. So we just met with Mayor Pat and they have a idea to propose some parking to help move traffic off of Main Street onto 2nd North, which would be pretty interesting, I think. That if we plan for growth in the future, what we can do to get anything off of Main Street is gonna be useful. They have a tentative proposal that came from one of the studies that was done in the past. They have the engineer looking at it now to see if it will actually work. It would be on the Caribbean Cowboy Street. There's the vacant lot, the Caribbean Cowboy, I think Mark Smith's development on the other side of the 2nd North.
Garden City owns the property. Yeah.
They have an 80-foot right of way through there, so that will eliminate the need for purchasing land. So our money might actually be enough
To do some good.
to do some
there.
good there.
Yeah.
And they thought they could come up with significant matching funds. So I was pretty excited about that. We went and walked it the other day. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So you can look for a contract with Mitch and Shawn. It'll be showing up eventually as soon as the funding comes through for this, or give me direction as to how to change it.
No, I like that there's a few different things like the Main Street revitalization and a few other stuff. I do like the direct business grants, but I like that you guys are starting to understand more what can be done with this money. So I think it's awesome, and a lot of it has to do with you, Nikki. Like, I think having somebody at the helm that's excited about it helps out quite a bit. So thanks for doing that for us.
I really appreciate the opportunity. I like doing it.
You're good at it. We appreciate it. Do you want to read this right here?
Sure. I move the Rich County Economic Opportunity Advisory Board recommendations as proposed for fiscal year 27 rural county grant allocation of $200,000 be approved. Make that motion.
Second. Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Nice. Alright, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks for hanging around.
Steve, come on up.
So I'll be quick and easy.
State your name and...
Steve Talbot, Rich County Sanitation Supervisor. I'm here to address some delinquent accounts. I know that there's 2 on here that have passed away. The other ones have been sent certified mail, they just haven't been given ample of time to respond. So the skinny handyman and the me.
So this is just for like cans?
Oh, no, he had it an account at landfill.
Oh.
So this is just a return?
Yeah, it's just a return.
Okay.
So.
I wasn't, there, I guess, I thought we were gonna do it in September. So after you send the certified letter, you need to give them 30 days to respond, don't you? Yeah. These were sent out, July 15th, so. They have not.
Who was the other one that passed away?
The Brumby Construction.
Do we have is he just a sole proprietor, or
I'm not sure.
how old is that?
I don't know if I even got it. I apologize, Pam's out there working right now with a concussion.
Concussion?
Yeah, she's going home as soon as Nick gets back from fixing dumpsters at Gardner City.
She got hurt on the job?
What's that?
She get hurt on the job?
No, it was last night at her house. I don't know how she drove into work. She's awfully, and so she sent one to Brumby Construction. We sent one certified, it's not been picked up yet. I don't have a copy of their bill, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So Skibby's, total bill, my understanding is $144.
Yes.
So,
The other ones that are in there are just ones that are,
we're waiting.
no address, no, and some of them are from 2023.
Okay, so do we have a list of the names and the amounts?
I can get one.
Yeah, so
Dismissed, you said?
Dismissed.
Okay, second that motion.
Okay, a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen. And then I will, have a more complete list for you guys.
Yeah, just kind of get a list together and we can kind of go through and see which ones. You know, there's gotta be some circumstances, we can review and see where we're at, and get those cleaned off the delinquent list.
So have you posted a job listing?
Yep, I posted a job listing, beginning last week.
Okay, do we have any applicants?
We have one applicant, one applicant.
Nothing for
Is
this
his name
schedule.
Cody? The guy from Woodruff?
Chris.
Sorry. I think he's the only applicant that we have left.
And he's the only one that has applied, that's the only one that's come in. That you saw, okay.
He's the only one that's returned my calls as well. I reached out to everybody that applied for my position with this call as well.
Have you, had a chance to talk to him?
I had met him for about 30 seconds in here the day that he turned his application in. I was waiting for interview, and I'm not sure how this process works yet, so.
Well, John and I have interviewed him prior to this. My suggestion is that you set up an interview and you interview him, and then let's have a discussion on this. I think you need to be part of the interview, but there's no use John and I sitting in on another interview with him. It'd be easier, let me just put it this way, probably easier to coordinate it just with you an interview versus trying to get all three of us together.
Okay.
So my suggestion is at this point in time, I'm not saying that you ought to at least interview and find out if he's an eligible candidate in your mind and anybody else that comes in that we have interviewed, we can interview. Okay.
Okay, is that the same with the part-time scale house position as well?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have anybody that wanted the scale house that we did not interview, or we did interview, I should say?
No, you have not interviewed any of them.
We have not interviewed any of the scale house people. So do we have applicants for the scale house?
Yeah, Annalise has given them all the skills tests, computer-wise, just to make sure they were capable of
Running
basic
some
computer
skills.
Yeah, basic computer skills.
Alright, so,
I will get with Annalise and get their numbers and get interviews with them set up as well.
yeah, let's get some interviews. John and I will be, and publish him unless you're related.
I don't know who's put in.
I won't talk about that
So,
on the record, but if you wanna come see, you can.
I don't know if I can, it's,
No.
okay.
Okay, well, we can be moving on it and give you some help.
Please, we really need some help. I need to be trained up here pretty quick, so.
Okay,
If you gentlemen have a little bit of time afterwards, there's some other things that I need to address with you guys. Maybe not today, but another day. I get together with you guys.
Yeah, we need like an hour or two with you.
Yeah, I've got several things.
Probably what we need to do is just schedule a work meeting for just sanitation.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Our sanitation organization, I should say, I guess. I think that's probably what we need to do.
Yeah, Steve did staff meeting, I went to it, it turned out really well. And I think that's gonna be a regular thing, right, Steve?
Every 2 weeks.
It's kinda nice for everybody to get on the same page, schedules and expectations. But we will schedule something within the next week or two. And we can look at rates and a bunch of other stuff. And,
Yeah, I brought a copy of those if you guys want me to leave them with you.
Sure.
Okay.
let's, maybe after the fair.
Okay, after the fair.
That's fine.
Do you guys need me to
know the summer's about.
Post,
What's that?
do you need me to post?
Yeah, just post commissions having a work meeting.
There's currently what we're charging.
Okay. Well, geez, that looks pretty good, actually.
To discuss sanitation.
We probably need to adopt this via ordinance.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of just, was this something that Lynn did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we actually have to have a public hearing on
Okay.
For
Well,
like
let's make sure
all-
the numbers are right before we do a public hearing, but,
Yeah, that's why I just brought you guys, this is what we're charging now.
that. It wouldn't, any rate increase, we'll have to do a public hearing on. Rates have to be approved.
Do you want me to put that in September?
Yes, probably.
yeah, cause then it gives us something to like work
September?
toward.
Seriously?
Yeah, can you believe that?
We're almost to Christmas.
Yeah, let's, put it on the agenda for September, if you would remember.
You want
Public hearing.
fee schedule?
Yeah. Sanitation rates, public hearing for sanitation rate.
That'll have everybody here.
Is there anything else from me that you guys need for the public hearing?
No.
Just these are all what we've been doing and right, the numbers,
Yeah, that's what they've been doing.
so.
I didn't know that it was that comprehensive, but, we'll look through like what the neighbors are doing to make sure we're not any more expensive than.
Oh, we were.
Cause yeah, it's hard to complain when you're the cheapest one around.
Really is. And then the last, handwritten thing is my question I was gonna ask you guys, but we can address that.
Okay,
At a different time.
Okay.
you're doing good, Steve.
Yeah.
It will slow down and we will have lots of time to figure stuff
While
out.
you're drinking through a fire out there.
Yeah.
Hang in there, buddy.
Well, secret sweet.
Yeah,
It's kind of my theory, you know, throw you in the deep end.
yeah, you're doing good.
Thank you.
Thank you, gents.
Oh, I need to finish looking through these, sorry.
You guys close this?
Just slightly.
Yeah, it's okay.
These are the minutes from July of, our last month's meeting. As I read through those, I thought that they reflected our meeting, so I would make a motion that we approve these minutes. Or maybe, John, maybe you.
I looked at these right when we got started, so I'll second that motion.
Okay, move the second, the July minutes be approved, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries.
So on the minutes that we, need to, re-approve, we did not get approved. December 11th, 2024. As I read through them, I remembered most of the action items on here, so I would make a motion that we approve the minutes for December 11th, 2024.
Second?
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries.
And then we have a set of minutes for June 4th, 2025, that we had some issues with during that period of time with getting them recorded. And these discussions as well. And so I'd make a motion that we approve June 4th, 2025's minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the July expenditures as presented.
Second.
Okay, move the second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries.
So our financial, quarterly report for, quarter number 2, which we've already reviewed on a monthly basis. But this is just the quarter, compilation of our expenditures, so I would move that we approve, our second quarter.
First quarter. You've already approved second quarter, this is the first quarter.
You've already reviewed through quarter 2, this is formally, quarter 2 is attached for reference.
Yeah, sorry, they're signed and you approved them already, so, but we didn't approve quarter 1.
Okay.
So your motion's to approve quarter 1?
Quarter 1 of 2026.
Okay, second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This, Gilbert and Stewart, letter, explain that to me a little bit. Do you know, apparently, does it need to be signed and sent back to him?
Yeah, they asked me to sign it and send it back, so there's 2 spots, so I signed one and the other commissioners would sign the other. I think it's just an acknowledgement, but we could ask about it,
Acknowledgement of what?
of their review, their financial audit for 2025.
Tried to watch some of those repairs from Wheeler and stuff closer, cause some of them should be on warranty, where then all that new equipment we bought.
Yeah.
Okay. fraud risk assessment amendment.
Okay, I was just trying to see where we had changed it.
Oh, comparing them,
Yeah,
it was,
oh, well, wait a minute.
I can tell you exactly.
Well, we have the same score on both of them.
Yeah, sorry. That one is the amended one, and then the other one is for 2026, unless we wanna do 2026 later, like after we implement some new policies. But 2025 would be the one you wanna see is in your packet.
Oh,
The very back of your packet, you have the written up, what was changed, so prior and the reason why, and then a copy of what was submitted. This is like the amended one to submit, so. Thank you. So just those areas right there that are highlighted. And the one, if you guys have certifications on your annual training, then I can change that one.
Certifications on what?
Your like annual training.
the Open Meetings Act.
Open meetings.
Let me take a picture.
And I'll just keep it ready for next meeting.
Yeah, I need to compare it.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the amended, fraud risk assessment.
Second.
Okay, got a motion, a second on it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Got a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Moving seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.